India has now stepped up its surveillance in view of the emergence of new COVID strain in the United Kingdom. While the centre has assured people that there is no reason to panic, it has released standard operating procedures for flyers. According to the new guidelines, the passengers coming from the United Kingdom should undergo an RT-PCR test. It is also stated that positive persons should be isolated in a separate quarantine unit.
As of now, based on our discussions, deep understanding of the data available, our discussions with scientists in UK, colleagues in WHO, and our own deep assessment, there is no cause for concern as panic.
नहीं, दिल्ली सरकार बिल्कुल सतर्क है और जितने भी फ्लाइट्स पिछले 2 हफ्ते में आई है सबको घर घर जाके उनको चेक किया जा रहा है और 100% हमने पूरा उसके लिए मेजर्स उनको तो हम खुद भेज रहे हैं, हमारे लोग जा रहे हैं, सबको जाएंगे जिसमें भी सिम्टम है हल्का से कुछ भी उसको टेस्ट भी किया जाएगा, पूरा उसके ऊपर वो किया जाएगा.
My colleague Akshata explains all the SOPs for United Kingdom flyers that India has taken in respect to the alert.
So here are the standard operating procedures that have been put in place. First is that an RT-PCR test is mandatory for all passengers coming in from the United Kingdom. Flight services have been suspended, but those who flew in from December 21st to 23rd will be identified as well. Now, beyond the RT-PCR test, a spike gene-based RT-PCR is a must for positive persons. This is needed to identify what version, what strain of coronavirus is it? Is it the new strain, the mutant version, or the version that's already, the strain that's already prevalent in India? Now, another step that governments are taking is that they're setting up separate isolation units for those who test positive, who have come in from the United Kingdom in case they're carrying the new strain of coronavirus. For those who have no symptoms and who've tested negative, home quarantine is the rule that the government has mandated. So no change on that front. Home quarantine is needed for those testing negative. However, if someone who travelled from the UK was on a flight and another person tested positive, then as far as contact tracing goes, institutional quarantine is the rule. So for all those who are contacts of a positive patient, institutional quarantine is a must. These are now the rules that have been put in place in different states.
Meanwhile, the new mutated strain of coronavirus has put the United Kingdom and the rest of the world on high alert. The biggest worry for the world is whether the approved COVID vaccine will be able to ward off the new variant of novel coronavirus. The Indian government has said that there is no cause for concern. Meanwhile, it is unlikely to have any impact on the potential of emerging vaccines as well. German pharma company BioNTech, which developed the COVID vaccine with Pfizer, says its shots will work against the new strain. BioNTech added that if needed, its vaccine can be altered within 6 weeks to fight any new mutant. Several scientists in the United Kingdom warned against more mutations and said that new strains is unlikely to affect efficacy of vaccines.
इस म्यूटेशन की वजह से जो हमारी ट्रीटमेंट गाइडलाइंस हैं उसमें भी कोई बदलाव नहीं आता और बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट ये भी बात है जहां तक अभी तक समझ आ रही है वैज्ञानिकों को कि इस म्यूटेशन होने के बावजूद जो भी वैक्सीन अभी डेवलप हो रहे हैं, पर्टिकुलरली जो हमारे देश में डेवलप हो रहे हैं और जो बाहर जो विकसित हुए हैं, जितने भी हुए हैं लगभग, उनको अगर हम इस दृष्टि से देखें कि क्या इस म्यूटेशन से उनके ऊपर नेगेटिव प्रभाव पड़ेगा कि वो काम नहीं करेंगे, ऐसा नहीं है.
Meanwhile, take a look at this ground report from the temperature-sensitive vaccine storage facility at Delhi Airport, which has the capacity to store 1.8 million metric tons of vaccine.
One of the cargo terminals at Delhi International Airport. In this specific area where I'm standing right now, I'll ask my camera person Ajay to show you around. this is where the COVID-19 vaccines, when they come in, will be stored. These are cargo facilities, temperature-controlled cargo facilities. So the temperature that I'm standing in right now is about 2 to 8 degrees. This is the temperature which will be maintained in this section. That's the cold storage, which goes up to minus 20 degrees Celsius, where the vaccine can be stored. And what we're being told is like 2 freighters worth of vaccine material and doses can in fact be stored over here. The total capacity in terms of weight stands at about 1.5 lakh metric tons, but they say, Delhi Airport authorities say, that can be expanded as well. Behind me is the green channel. Now this is an express channel of sorts inside Delhi International Airport's cargo terminal, which can ensure faster movement and delivery of the COVID-19 vaccine after it arrives on an aircraft from here. So the freighter can come here directly and go from here through this express channel towards the truck docking area. It's going to take about 40 minutes is what we've been told, in order to unload it from an aircraft and then ensure that it is uploaded. In a sense, it has been put onto a truck for delivery further. What you see behind me is called a cool dolly. In simple terms, this is like a refrigeration unit which is used for transportation purposes. So when the vaccine arrives on an aircraft and it has to be moved towards the terminal building, the cargo terminal building where we're standing, it obviously cannot move in the open. It has to move in a temperature controlled environment, and a cool dolly provides that. So the container will go into the cool dolly, and the cool dolly maintains the temperature, whatever it is, of the container, and transports whatever is the consignment from the aircraft towards the terminal. One of the temperature controlled cargo facilities right now, and I'm standing inside minus 20 degrees Celsius. That is how much the temperatures can be controlled up to they dip up to minus 20 degrees Celsius over here. And this is the coldest storage facility that the Delhi International Airport has in terms of storing cargo. So this is the temperature up until which they can store dosages of the vaccine. It starts from plus 25 degrees Celsius. It goes to minus 20 degrees Celsius. That is the temperature that me and my camera person Ajay Thakur are currently standing in.
हमारे पास स्टोरेज कैपेसिटी करीब 27 लाख वैक्सीन की है। अगर दिन में 2 राउंड हम उसको रोटेट कर पाएं, बिकॉज कोई भी कार्गो कंटेनर आएगा, उसको कार्गो फ्रेटर आएगा, उसको अनलोड करना, उसको फिर से अगर बल्क ब्रेक करना है तो बल्क ब्रेक करना, और फिर वापस उसको लोड करना, तो उसमें अगर वो 2 रोटेशन है तो दिन भर में हम 54 लाख वायल्स भी डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं।
International Airport Limited has made extensive arrangements for the vaccine for COVID-19 to be stored over here and then transported out of here from the airport where I'm standing right now. When it arrives, of course, is something that the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare will be deciding, but the ministry seems to have indicated to Delhi Airport that it could be any time in the month of January. Various technical measures which have been taken, obviously a lot has gone into it, a lot of thought has gone into it in order to ensure that as far as the vaccine is concerned, it reaches, the deliverable reaches you in the best possible condition, given that these vaccines will eventually have to be kept in very temperature controlled environments, and they're very temperature sensitive, so to say. So clearly Delhi Airport is prepared, and so have other airports as well, the major airports in India, in order to ensure that the vaccine reaches you safely and is administered to you. With camera person Ajay Thakur, Polami Saha at the Delhi International Airport for India Today.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching. Well, that's what it looks like in terms of preparation for the vaccines to arrive. We're going to keep a keen eye and get you all the latest there. Meanwhile, shifting focus to Tamil Nadu, the government there has now granted permission to hold the popular bull taming sport Jallikattu next year with certain restrictions in place. As per the new guidelines, no more than 300 bull tamers will be allowed for an event. A maximum of 150 racers will be allowed in the traditional bull race across the state. Coronavirus testing is mandatory for both bull tamers and owners. In all these events, participants are permitted with a maximum ceiling of 50% of the total capacity of the open spaces. The participants will be allowed only upon thermal screening. Wearing masks at all times will be mandatory. Jallikattu is a traditional bull chasing sport of Tamil Nadu which is organized during the harvest period Pongal in January. Meanwhile, the meeting of 40 farm leaders to take a call on their response to government's talk offer is underway. Farmers will be holding a press conference at 5 p.m. to announce their decision. On Sunday, a joint secretary of Agriculture Ministry wrote a letter to 40 farm unions asking them to choose a date for the next round of talks. The government also made a fresh reach out with Defence Minister Rajnath Singh listing out steps taken by Modi government for farmers and appealing to them to end the stir. Farmers marking Kisan Divas have so far remained adamant on their demand to roll back new laws. Farmers have decided to forcibly prevent cess collection in Haryana toll plazas from 26th to 28th of December.
सरकार अगर कंडीशनल बात करना चाहे कि बिल तो वापसी होंगे नहीं बात कर लो तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि उस कंडीशन पे कोई बात करेगा उनसे आगे तो सरकार बताएगी क्या है हम तो बैठे भाई हमारा आंदोलन हिंसक हो रहा हो तो बताओ हम आंदोलन शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से न कर रहे हो तो बताओ आंदोलन को हम कैसे करें और वो बताओ जो 20 का साल था वो खराब है और अब नए साल में एक अच्छी शुरुआत हम करना चाहते हैं और हम किसानों से शुरुआत करना चाहते हैं सरकार किसानों को फिर नए साल में खुश करना चाहती है ये हमको उम्मीद है
देखिए हमारी मीटिंग होगी जैसा पत्र उन्होंने भेजा उस पत्र का जवाब देंगे उसके बाद जो भी उधर से जवाब आएगा चर्चा करेंगे विचार करेंगे हर फैसला हमारी मीटिंग में होता है मेरे अकेले को कोई अधिकार नहीं है कि मैं उस फैसले की बात
कि सब जगह से लोग चले हुए हैं महाराष्ट्र से हजारों किसान चले हैं कल महाराष्ट्र में कुर्ला बांद्रा कम्प्लेक्स में 15-20 हजार लोगों ने प्रोटेस्ट किया इसी तरह हरियाणा से बहुत बड़े पैमाने पर लोग चले हुए हैं तो ये लोग जो आ रहे हैं दिल्ली की तरफ इससे दिल्ली जो है और इसकी जो चोकिंग ज्यादा हो सकती है आने वाले समय तो गवर्नमेंट को चाहिए कि एज अर्ली एज पॉसिबल रिपील वाला डिमांड जो किसानों को मान ले वो
ये कैसे सुनिश्चित करते हैं कि आपकी सप्लाईज आती रहे रास्ता खुलना है कब बंद करना है
और सर वो हमारे पंजाब नंबर की गाड़ी आती है ना और किसी की नहीं जाने देते जो सारा सामान होगा
तो यहाँ जो स्ट्रेटेजी होती है वो स्ट्रेटेजी कौन डिसाइड करता है कैसे प्लान बनाते हैं कि आपकी सप्लाईज भी आती रहे
जो हमारे आगे हैं आदमी जो सीनियर आदमी है वही बात कर रहे हैं वो वही बोल रहे हैं कि जो पीछे जो सामान आएगा जो राशन आएगा कोई उसको जाने देना पानी आएगा वो जाएगी सप्लाई चलती रहेगी
Meanwhile, India Today's Ashutosh Mishra visited the GT Karnal road that remains blocked by farmers, restricting traffic towards Delhi and Haryana.
It could be an agitation against the government, against the agricultural laws. But the battle is very strategic. The farmers have blocked the national highway at Singhu border, both the sides. But there is one strategic entrance open they have kept to ensure their supply is uninterrupted. And through these narrow lanes, they are ensuring their medicines, food, ration, drinking water, everything, the supply of these essential commodities doesn't hamper. In fact, if there is medical emergency required to anyone, be it the senior citizen, women, they ensure that goes uninterrupted. These farmers have been battling here for more than 3 weeks against the agricultural laws. In the tussle between farmers and government, some strategies they have also formed. That's why exactly they have kept this small space open, which connects part of Singhu border to Punjab and Haryana to ensure their supply continues. These trucks are coming from different parts of Haryana and Punjab with ration, with drinking water and other essential supplies that are required for the agitating farmers here at Singhu border. So here is the point where the agitating farmer and their camp begins. And from here onwards up to 6 kilometers where that exactly the Singhu border is located. And that's how the traffic, can be seen blocked completely. Beyond this point, nothing can go. And that's a massive camp of these farmers begins at Singhu border. So anyone wants to visit Delhi from Haryana and Punjab, indeed either have to take peripheral expressway or alternative routes. Clearly when the highway is blocked, because this is now a temporary shelter for the agitating farmers of Haryana, Punjab and other states who are extending them support at Delhi Singhu border.
Meanwhile, in a big outreach by the Modi government to allay farm affairs, the Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar reached out again to the agitating farmers, saying that he remains hopeful that farmers will come forward for talks and a solution can soon be reached. Tomar added that farm laws were made following a lot of deliberation, saying that several farmer unions have backed new laws laying down the plan ahead. BJP MPs and ministers have been asked by the Modi government to reach out to farmers and remove farmer apprehensions. Tomar also said that on the 25th of December, 18,000 crore will be transferred to 9 crore farmers across India.
मैं पूरी तरह आशावान हूं कि हमारे किसान यूनियंस चर्चा करेंगे और हमने जो उनको आग्रह किया है सरकार की ओर से कि वो सरकार के प्रस्ताव पर क्या टिप्पणी करना चाहते हैं, उस प्रस्ताव पर क्या जोड़ना चाहते हैं, क्या घटाना चाहते हैं, वो हमको बताएंगे और कब उनको सुविधा है वार्ता करने के लिए वो तारीख और समय हमें बताएंगे। तो भारत सरकार पूरी तरह वार्ता के लिए उनके साथ तैयार है और मुझे पूरी आशा है कि जल्दी ही वो विचार करके निर्णय